Hey guys, Ashley Severe here. If I can help you make money in this lucrative industry, would you let me? Like and subscribe.
Hey guys, Ashley Severe here with Severe RPMS Adjuster Academy. Today I want to talk about the IA world as we know it. In my opinion, the IA landscape is changing. I've been saying this for the last 2 to 3 years, that the IA firms and work as an IA is not going to be the same. It's not going to be as profitable. It's not going to be as adventurous. It appears that it's not going to be as busy in the next year or two. I'm sure a lot of veteran independent adjusters can attest to that. If 2023 has not told us anything, it told us one thing, is that not every year can be as profitable as the year before. I know a lot of veteran adjusters complain about the inundation of new adjusters out in the adjuster world. You know, I'm always a proponent of never complain about that, because if you're doing your job, you're going to stay busy. However, the problem is not that there's a lot of new adjusters out there. The problem is that you have a lot of uncertified, untrained, unknowledgeable, stubborn adjusters out there that are new, that refuse to get the training that they need. Or they want to be, how do you say it? Fake it till you make it. That's the problem. And this problem has a trickle-down effect to these carriers when they begin to realize that utilizing IA firms has become or is becoming more of a liability, because IA firms are not properly training these new adjusters or vetting these new adjusters. And so they get a whole bunch of new adjusters that are faking it till they make it, and they're writing estimates that are bad faith estimates or just poor estimates that leads to revision.
Police reported ahead.
That leads to collaboration and eventually leads to litigation. And so, in my opinion, and it is my opinion, I don't sit on any legal advisory board for any IA firm or carrier, but this is my opinion, is that a lot of these carriers are realizing that it is better for them to hire more adjusters, field adjusters, and train them themselves. Of course, the pay will be less than an independent adjuster. However, they would assume responsibility for their own liability, if you understand what I'm saying. And so we see this happening even now today. A lot of these carriers now who have not advertised for hiring adjusters are now heavily recruiting adjusters. And not only just adjusters, but heavily recruiting new adjusters as well. And now they're willing to train them. So you might be saying, well, actually, you're just saying that. No, I'm not. Check it out. If you just do a LinkedIn search, Citizens is hiring field adjusters. Allstate is hiring field adjusters. Tower Hill is hiring field adjusters through Bluegrass. State Farm is undergoing a lot of hiring right now. And I'm sure you guys have heard that a lot of these carriers have dropped their contracts with IA firms that they've held contract with for years. In addition to undergoing all this new hiring. So, why do I think that the IA firm as we know it will be no more in another year or two? For a number of reasons. And this started happening 2 or 3 years ago. The number one reason is low fee bills. This started about 2 or 3 years ago when I started seeing the trend of low fee bills. And I'm not talking about just for daily claims, but I started seeing them out there for cat claims. I mean, fee bills that make you scratch your head like, how am I supposed to leave my home, travel to another state, pay for my own hotel, my own gas, my own meals, pay for my own liability, because you ought to have insurance if you're an independent adjuster. You should have some insurance, general liability, and also E&O insurance. You may have to have also a workers' compensation or an exemption for workers' compensation. And you should have health insurance and life insurance. If you are an independent adjuster, you should have those insurance policies in place. General liability, E&O insurance, health insurance, life insurance. Because when life happens, it comes at you fast. If you ever get injured during an inspection, there goes your ability to earn income for your family. I don't even encourage independent adjusters to climb roofs that are high and steep anymore, because the risk does not justify, or let me say that the other way around. The compensation for climbing a high and steep roof does not justify the risk, especially when you're not being paid more for climbing it, and when the carrier is more than willing to pay a company, ladder assist, to do it for you. So that's number one, low fee bills. Number two, utilization of virtual inspections. When I saw this starting to happen 2 or 3 years ago, my first thought, or maybe 4 years ago, my first thought was, wow, this is pretty innovative, right? Pretty smart, innovative. And then when I saw how much they pay an adjuster that utilizes it, then I thought to myself, that's not good. It's not good for 1 or 2 reasons. Number one, it's not foolproof. It's just not. How can someone from the desk be able to write an appropriate estimate using a virtual system with the insured and their phone? Because you got to get measurements, you got to get ceiling heights, you have to get an accurate geometry of the room to be able to get your square footage. But number two, the utilization of these virtual inspections, where the insured calls in their claim and someone from the desk uses their iPhone or phone or video capturing device to communicate with the insured while the insured takes pictures, walks around the house, and gives measurements. Third reason, the use of go and look adjusters or go and look people, because you don't have to be a licensed adjuster to go out and look at anything. So the use of go and look adjusters that go and look and just take pictures of what they see. Number 4, utilizing of estimate only people, not adjusters, because you don't have to be an adjuster to write estimates. All right, this has been happening for years, but it's being used more and counted on more. What's the reason? Don't know. I don't know exactly. Only thing I can think is to limit liability. Okay, and then someone from the desk makes the decision and does the adjusting of that claim. 5th reason, utilizing of inspection only adjusters. Guys that go out for a flat fee and just inspect the property. They don't make any coverage decisions. This individual has to be a licensed adjuster. And they do it for a flat fee. Now you say, Ashley, what's the problem? The problem is that this works. That's the problem. The problem to the industry is that you have a lot of adjusters that want to get their foot in the door, and they would gladly take this job for a flat fee. Which is not much at all. Not much at all. But you have a lot of new adjusters get their foot in the door and get the experience, and they're taking these jobs that otherwise would have been sent out to the field to an IA firm to do it. The problem is that inspection only claims they actually work. And then the desk adjuster makes the decisions from the desk, maybe even write the estimate also. 6th reason, utilization of ladder assist companies to do the inspections and the photography. If you notice that ladder assist offers the service now. They've been offering it over the last year, maybe 2. But I think the last year they start offering it. Ladder now, Seek now, which I believe is the same company, and another company, Hancock. Now I take that back. They're offering a full adjusting service to these carriers now. Yes, full adjusting. Seventh reason, the use of engineers on every claim. Every single claim. What's the goal in doing this? I don't know. Again, I don't sit on any legal advisory board of any IA firm or carrier, but I am seeing this happening. And the last but not least of the reasons is the lack of training or insufficient training of new adjusters by the IA independent adjusting firms. And part of it, well, I shouldn't say part of it. I was about to say part of it is at no fault of the IA firm, but that's not true. The problem is it's hard to vet new adjusters that don't have experience and that are unwilling to spend the money to get the training so that they can how would you say, so that they can mitigate against their lack of experience. Because you have a lot of adjusters that lie on their resume, which number one, you guys shouldn't be doing that. Because you make it hard for every other adjuster. You should not lie on your resume. You say, Ashley, how do you know adjusters are lying on their resumes? Well, I went through over 400 resumes last year, myself personally. And I found only about 50 adjusters whose resumes I reviewed amongst over 400 were legitimate. You say, well, Ashley, how do you know they were legitimate? Well, you guys do know that your license is only a few keystrokes away from being researched, right? It takes 5 seconds to research your license to see how long you've had your license. Okay? I hate to insult new adjusters' intelligence or people that are doing this. It is very easy to research your license. Just type in your name. Go to the appropriate website and just type in your name. That's it. Or type in the license that you submitted on your resume. That's it. And if these IA firms are not doing this, shame on them for hiring these adjusters and putting them out there. That's creating a bad rep for all the veteran adjusters. I'm speaking loud because I want to make sure my video capturing device gets my voice, because I don't have the lapel mic on me. That's why I'm speaking loud. But this is a problem. You're doing yourself a disservice when reviewing these resumes, these bad resumes, where people are submitting false resumes. One thing I see in common, and guys, you gotta stop doing this. Even for those who have legitimate resumes, don't do this. On these resumes, you're seeing the same descriptions that are on LinkedIn for the jobs that are hiring. They're copying and pasting these skills and requirements and putting them on their resume and changing to I have, or I did, or I am. Copy and paste. Identical resumes. Same things. And you can easily tell they're going either to the same people that are writing these resumes, they're utilizing professional resume writers, or they're just copying and pasting off of LinkedIn. There was a number of them that I thought I read the same person's resume twice. And when I went and looked back, no, it was identical. The employment history was identical. The skills and education, identical. Everything identical. Don't utilize professional resume writers, guys. There are companies that actually vet each application. Okay? So what's my advice for new adjusters? What's my advice for veteran adjusters that are struggling now? Because it had not been busy for 8 months now, because 2023 started off with a bang and then died off. As far as cat work, daily claims are still going on, but as far as, well, daily claims are slow, super slow, all throughout the year. But it was still going on. So what's my advice for veteran adjusters, new adjusters, adjusters that are just getting started? My advice to you, as much I hate to say this, but if I were to be honest with you, regardless of the fact that I offer adjuster training is that I would tell you, you better be willing to modernize, man. Get with the times. What do I mean by that? That staff position that you thought was not worth it, you may want to reconsider it. Because the IRA world is slowly becoming more and more unprofitable. Now, there are some companies that still have good relationships with a lot of these other carriers, smaller carriers, still have good fee bills, still provide good support, good services. If you're a vet, you know who those companies are. But I would highly encourage, my advice would be, you gotta be willing to modernize, man. Move with the times. And that means taking a second look at these staff positions with the carriers. It will not be the amount of money you would make as an independent adjuster, but it'll be consistent. Oftentimes with benefits, and the benefits themselves mitigates against the money that you would not be making. So that's my advice to you. That's all I got on the topic of the IA world. Not looking the same in the next year or two. It's not. It really isn't, man. And it's been concerning to say the least. Ashley Severe PMS Academy. Signing out.